So purify the mind inside while thinking, speaking and acting in the world. If we don't purify this mind, we have to lead a stressful, anxious, reactive life. I discussed briefly in the last session. So all it boils down, Master says that we human beings do not know how to think properly. And when we are not thinking properly, we continue to think and speak and act out of the money mind, monkey mind, sheep mind, cognitive biased mind, likes and dislikes mind, or you can add lot of upset mind, huh? Anxious mind. In the morning I was so stressed when I woke up. The women wrote to me, really? How many hours of sleep you had? 10 hours. What is the result? Stressed mind. So I have to recognize it, that this impurity of the mind which causes the different states, and we try to hold it, we try to control. Someone calls you, hi Sophia, I'm good. Are you, there is something important? Oh no, I just called you, so I will talk to you later. And you hang up the phone. So I know what kind of a state of the mind you have. Other also knows it. You try to hide it, you cannot hide it. Money mind. But when you purify the mind, there is a clarity all the time in your personal, professional, business, family dealing. And I can tell you, when you live with the purity of the mind, the calmness never leaves you. The clarity in the mind, in 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 thinking about any object, doesn't leave you. I told you that I have to lease a vehicle. So I said, give me some figures. The guy gave me the figures, $800 per month. He said, can you give me a breakup? So this much is the APR. I said, I'm not going with you. Then they said, what kind of an APR you want to have a deal with me? You see, money mind. You're not trying to earn the business by being a contributor to the customer. You want to grab. So I simply texted, I'm not dealing with you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you gave me the figure. The conversation, you will be surprised what the conversation. No, we have a policy, we will not disclose our APR. I said, I also made a personal policy. If one does not disclose a APR, I'm not going to have a deal with that. Now, if your mind is distracted, if you are attached to some vehicle, like and dislike mind, you will land up with a bad deal. Sometimes we miss it, I know. That is the power of a disciplined mind. If I think, speak, and please find out, do not believe me, if your mind think, speak, and act with these different states of the mind, what is the result? Now just do the opposite. You need not to think, you just, let me think with the reasoning, cause and effect. How is this calculation comes out? Can you tell me? I have a right. With a discerning mind. And you need to connect. So I should not also be using a rationalized mind. I said, what kind of a per month deal you want? They said, it depends on the price of the vehicle. No, you tell me. I said, $1 per month for 3 years, $2,000 down. Are you joking? I said, you started joking with me. Give me some sensible figure. Then only we can get out. You should be ready to respond in a different manner when you have a clarity in your head. So it is not this is a rationalized mind when I said $1 per month, because he started with rationalize it. Now you tell me how much per month you want. So if I say $300 per month, he will say put $10,000 down. Use the same logic when we enter into a conflict with someone. We use the rationalized, even with the near and dear ones. I have to stop this in order to purify this mind. Every human mind tends to jump thoughts like a monkey mind, like a money mind, like a stressed mind, like and dislike mind, and all we have. So I lose the connection from the reality. But I have to rationalize, so I create a false notion. I stick to some preconceived opinion that disturbs me internally, that disturbs people outside, and I continue to live. I continue to repeat the same different states of the mind. I need to purify the mind. If I don't purify the mind, nothing is going to happen in our life. That is the one major reason. What is the major reason? You all have you have all shared the experiences of meditation that someday you experienced extreme calmness, peace, and the joy. But why it is lost? Because of this. Because of these states of the mind. Some people ask me how long I have to continue until you purify the mind. The mind is purified, so status quo is maintained. Calmness is maintained, the peace is maintained, joy is maintained. We have answer of all the questions because these 3,000 masters, 10,000 texts has dealt with every human being, individually, collectively. So consistent listening and learning makes a tremendous change. Every time you perceive your own mind, you check your own mind, you observe your mind in a different perspective. I gave an example of this dealing with the car. Apply the same dealing in your personal relationship. There is a rationalized mind that is working. There is a strong likes and dislikes mind that is working. No, you have reacted to me, last year. Oh, you still remember. I'm not exposing you, but you can think of it. You can think. Oh, so you still carry the burden of what happened last year. Very good. You are a very good human being with an undisciplined mind, with an undisciplined thinking. So if your mind says, no, 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 I have a very pure mind, check again. Check again. So if you don't check, if you don't observe, the mind continued its habitual, instinctive, impulsive ways, and which results into continued state of the suffering. And then we say, then what happens? The best result, you are responsible for my suffering. Money is responsible for my suffering. Dad, you are responsible for my suffering. Mom, you are responsible. Honey, you are responsible. One son was telling me that, my dad is crazy. No, I said no. He would have been actually crazy the moment you were born. He should have squeezed your neck so that you don't have an opportunity to say that your parents are crazy. He's somewhere project manager in New York City. Do you think? See that? I don't have an appreciation that at least I'm born physically from the parents. They brought me up, and so they brought me up to prove that parents are crazy. I don't have a sense of realization. I use even my parents as a consumer, as a utility. That is the impurity of the mind. Let the parents be crazy. Greatest contribution that they did not squeeze my neck and I'm still living. Can you think of their contribution? And when I'm simply saying you think in this way only. You make that statement to your own mind. My parents allowed me to live so that I can think consciously. I become a human being. All your blame and complaint stops. That is the purity of the mind. I'm not talking of kindness and compassion and respect for parents. I'm talking of only the purity and the impurity of the mind, my friends. You may have 100% disagreement. Even with that disagreement, you talk with the humility. Sign of purity of the mind. So impure mind causes failure to achieve potential excellence, and we cannot awaken to that inner peace and happiness. What is lacking, I have already discussed that these different states of the mind have taken over. But what happens when the mind is pure? So what happens, just this example of parents. At least then you don't have that reaction and hesitation in your mind. One sense of gratefulness is there in your mind. You don't become a hypocrite. Think. I'm not saying that you have to believe me. I learned. It's my personal experience. I'll tell you sometime later. Second thing, what happens when your mind is purified, it enters into a natural, emotional, and a mental discipline. Like for the like and dislike mind causes the attachment and detachment to a people, to a situation, to a relationship. Now you don't have an emotional dependence on anything, on any person. Your mind lives into that sense of emotional freedom. Third, where is that purity of the mind? We will talk in detail when we start taking up the first conventional method of purity. And it promotes the selfless service. It promotes the selfless service. Unselfishness, or you can say unselfishness, or you can say in a different way, uh, selfishness. But make sure, be very clear. Selfishness and unselfishness in Eastern wisdom is totally different. It is extremely personal at the mental and the emotional level. We'll talk in detail, but I gave you one example. Selfishness of the mind means I am a consumer of anything and everyone. Burdened, guided, dictated by strong likes and dislikes, attachment and detachment, aversion, reaction. That is what we say the selfishness. Unselfishness means here I go to the restaurant, do I respect the waiter? Am I ready to contribute the way the waiter served, the way the teacher served, the way you served? You serve out of the kindness without expecting any result, any appreciation from the others. That is the mode of unselfishness. So when you live into that state, then you are not expecting any appreciation from the others. You did it for the sake of the job. What happens? Your mind continues to become pure. You develop a sense of detachment in your life. Now, what happens with these traits? Can you imagine? You develop a tremendous mental and the emotional strength. You can endure even the fear of death. What to talk of small anxiety and getting upset in reaction. You can endure. Your mind will say, endure reaction. No way. Hold anxiety. That indicates the purity of the mind. For example, your honey has some bad habit. You have reacted a couple of times, and after that, you have created an image. Now your mind is pure. Now you endure it. That endurance has the inner calmness. You bypass that. So, what happens now? Even your honey reacts, you maintain the state of calmness and the joy. That is the purity of the mind. It is a journey. It reveals your inner strength, mental endurance. Internally, you are mentally tough to yourself to withstand strong likes and dislikes. I should have fought with this dealer. Why should I fight with this dealer? It's your problem. I have recognized it's your money mine. And now I can play with your money mine. I know you do not have an answer. We have a policy not to disclose the money. They call it money factor. So how they play with you? Money factor, how much it is? 0.004. Oh, It's only 0.004. But you have to calculate. The money factor comes out to be 10%. But they tell you it is 0.004. But why I'm explaining this? I come to you, internally I'm angry over you, and outside, hi John, how are you? That is 0.004. That is the 0.004 money. I have to be very clear in my mind. My mind has to be pure. And what happens, it builds character and integrity in you. You need not to worry about it. You need not to be worried about it. So you see, if you look back, what exactly is the purity of the mind? The impurity takes over. You deny something to your impure mind. No, no, I'm not going to fight with this. You are cheating me. No, no, no. I'm not doing that. I endure it. I recognize you. I will follow what is right and good. I will stick to what is right and good. I will not blame you. I keep my mind within. I cannot tolerate false. Really? Live with me for about a week. I will tell you 10 things that are false. So we are scrupulously honest to ourselves. Forget about the world. I have to be honest to myself. The moment my mind goes out to think about you, to speak about you, to act in relationship to you, I should be very clear. I have thought about you, I spoke to you, I acted on you. That particular action is finished. My mind does not leave any residue. My mind is pure. Greatest indication of purity of the mind is normally we start with peace and the joy. Hey, how are you, John? I'm fine. How are you doing? I'm also doing fine. So I should be able to maintain that fineness before the conversation, during the conversation, and after the conversation. Then my mind is pure. I can give you a checkpoint. You start with the joy and you end up with the sorrow. And your mind ends, oh, John is cheating me, something. It means my mind is already impure. I am giving an opportunity to cheat me. Why should I give an opportunity? Let me be straight and clear. Impurity of the mind, all these talks and understanding, you remember all those different categories of the mind which causes the impurity: the stressed mind, the money mind, the monkey mind, the sheep mind, cognitive biased mind, rationalized mind, strong likes and dislikes mind, upset mind, anxiety mind, fearful mind. Add more depending on your attitude. Because my mind is going to think, speak, and act out of combination, permutation, and combination of these minds in every conversation, because we don't know whether my mind is pure and impure. So our masters makes us clear, look at these different states of the mind to be aware that your mind is pure or impure. Think, my friend. You have to contemplate and think again and again. So once you have a background, oh, this is what it means by the impurity of the mind, then we can understand what are the conventional methods to purify the mind and how each one out of the 6 conventional methods purifies the mind. So especially if you understand I will make you aware of the Eastern wisdom tradition, and as you are already becoming aware of that, and then we will introduce these conventional methods. So how these conventional methods have been applied by the seekers, and how these conventional methods have been taught differently at a different point, at a different time by these contemporary masters. So instead of impurity of the mind, Buddha lays down the first principle, the right knowledge, out of first of the Eightfold Noble Path. He has been very kind. Perhaps in the contemporary society of the Buddha, if Buddha should have taught that your mind is impure, they should have left him. So he stressed on the right knowledge. He was totally impartial. It doesn't mean that he has to be impartial. It means that based on the temperament, level of awareness, and understanding of the group of the people, at that time in the society, he said, right knowledge. So he defined the right knowledge with reference to how the mind moves with the right knowledge and how the mind moves with the wrong knowledge. So he was very objective, not to attack anyone. 100 years ago, another master says, no, your mind is impure. First you purify the mind, then I will talk to you about the success in meditation. See, they talked about the same thing. Let us start our practice again. Eyes are closed. I hope today you go into peace and never leave the peace. Eyes are closed. Place of the body. Place. No, not place of the body, but the place where your body and the mind are sitting for meditation or lying down, whatever the position you have, it's okay. So the place. So the place, you can say, yes, I'm sitting in a room. No, the room is full of lot of articles. What our masters are pointing to the place that become aware of the space just outside your body. When you say the word outside, it begins with the space just outside your body. Your mind is impure at a very subtler level. No, how can you say? Because you say, your mind claims that the world outside, the world is just outside my body, means I am the body. And I have told you millions of times that we are not the body. Do you see that? That is the importance of being aware of the place. So become aware of the space around your body, and then become aware of the body, the position of the body, and the posture. You see? And now see what happens. There is a struggle in the body. And the struggle in the body is blamed outside. If there is a struggle, and I know you all are seekers now, so there is hardly any struggle in the body, and that is very good. So if you don't have any struggle, the place is fixed, position is done, posture is done, and now is the time to be aware of being comfortable. And this time we will go a little deeper when I say look at the neck joint. So look inside the neck joint. Go to the root of the neck joint. Why? So that we are educating the mind to go inside. You look at the root of the neck joint. You are simply looking, you're not doing anything. And you experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Look at the root of shoulder joints. You see the mind moves in exploratory mode. What you're doing, you're getting rid of the monkey mind. Thoughts may be there, let it be there, but you continue to move to the root of the shoulder joints, be there, experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Move to the root of the hip joint. Be there, and the moment you are at the root of the joint, your mind moves into the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. How and why, that we will discuss later. First, you have to experience. Move the mind on the knee joints. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The entire body, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The second step is being carefree, free from the cares of the mind. How the mind cares? By all those different states of the mind which causes the impurity. Otherwise, you never say that mind, during meditation, you disturb me, you never say it, but still it disturbs you. Do you recognize it? So first thing that we appreciate this knowledge, and then we say if any thought associated with a feeling enters into the mind, I keep it watching. How I watch? The way I watch the traffic on the road. Do you watch the traffic when you are in the middle of the traffic? No. I'm standing across. So what is the message here? You are objective. You are not subjective. What it means? You see that these thoughts, whether causing the stress mind, upset mind, anxious mind, fearful mind, are separate and different from you. When you see that separate and different from you, all these different states of the mind comes and goes, and you feel a sense of freedom. Why? They are objective to you. And if you feel that sense of the freedom, you are moving ahead. You are moving, you are progressing. Now we give a complex puzzle for the mind to solve. Understand that? You are looking deep inside the forehead. You're looking in deep inside the forehead in the space. First puzzle, you maintain your awareness. So when you look into this space, you are dropping mentally and gently Shantoham. And to the impure mind, you are saying keep on gently dropping Shantoham there in the state of comfort and steadiness, but then start breathing quick and fast into the rib cage. These two are opposing tendencies of the mind, and if you are able to maintain that, you can, for temporary period, you can purify the mind. Mind will continue with it. You'll start breathing quick and fast into the rib cage, 1, maintaining the stillness in the body, 2, looking into the space inside the forehead, 3, Shanto, dropping Shantoham. Shantoham means I'm the peace, gently. Can I tell you the fifth point? If you can continue doing it, even if the mind resists, what you are educating the mind? The power of endurance. Any power of endurance is denying the impurity of the mind to take over you, will make the mind pure. You're still breathing, you're still doing Shantoham, you're still keeping the body steady, your focus is still inside the forehead, and you still know the meaning. Shantoham means I am the peace. Thoughts are coming and going, let it come and go. You are enduring it. You know they are separate from you. Now stop it, do nothing, experience the changes. Sensation may be there. You may feel a sense of blankness inside, or a freshness, or a calmness, or more energy. Everything is good. And in that state, now we have been using, so I'm now explaining you. The next step is to purify the mind by thinking consciously. When you think consciously, how you think consciously? By the mantra. So looking deep inside the forehead and mentally, in spite of you have a lot of the thoughts maybe moving at this time, or no thoughts is there, in both the cases, you say in your mind, Asatoma Satgamaya. Asatoma Satgamaya. Asatoma Satgamaya. First, you have said this mentally, and then you know the meaning, moving from the false to the real. Impure mind is built upon the false notion, false assumption, being a consumer, having likes and dislikes of anything and everything. And to the real means I should drop it first. Dropping means that I do not give any weightage to the false, not by force. Or thought may be coming and going, and you say, okay, good. You just internally you brand it false. You come, go, and stay, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be influenced. That is the power of the mantra Asato Ma Satagamaya. Ha Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. It means moving from the ignorance to the wisdom. Ignorance means again the same thing, the false notion. I do not know that my mind is impure, but we have been understanding. And the wisdom means the knowledge of the real self. We will leave it this step here, and you look at the head and the neck. Awareness of the head and the neck, and experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Moving the mind or awareness of the right arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Left arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. When you are doing it regularly, experience the changes every time you practice, and you have a deeper experience at your personal level, which will define your progress. The chest and the belly, awareness of the entire rib cage and the belly, and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Experience the right leg. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Left leg. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. I told you the Shantoham means I am the peace. And I also told you that peace, our master says that peace is of the nature of infinite space, infinite, one, and good space. Good space means it is not disturbed by any other object. So what you do, you look at the breath goes in and you drop Shanto hum, and then seeing the good space inside. Yes, you may have a thought there, but you bypass. Okay, thought is very good, but I still have a good space. If you don't have a space, how can you have a thought? And when the breath comes out, you still drop shanto hum and have a good space outside. Outside is also a good space. Inside is also good space. Every time the breath goes in and out, you simply drop casually, non-verbally, in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness in the body, and see what happens. I'm very much present with you. Continue. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the hands, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down and we'll share our experiences. How are you, Sophie?
I am good, Girish. I think sometimes I was not fully aware, but I feel calm. I didn't move.
Very good. Yes.
Yes.
So one part is okay. Recognize that sometime you lost awareness So we categorize them into a lazy and sleepy mind, unconscious mind. So that also, so you can recognize different categories of the mind which has to do with the impurity. It is very casual. But now I have become aware. I have to maintain that state of awareness. So when you do the practice daily, see how many times you lose and how many times you are able to maintain that awareness. So which will help us to progress. How are you, John?
Hey, Girish. I'm fine. I think mostly like Sophie, but I also had a bit of monkey mind.
Yes. So you see that recognition is the first step. In Eastern wisdom say recognition what is happening to the mind is the first step. So one day in this entire week, resolve. Let me do the practice first time. It hardly takes 20-25 minutes. And come out of it and then recognize, is the monkey mind available? No. Or yes. If it is yes, okay, monkey mind, I will do the practice again. I have to educate myself calmly, not with a resistance. And if you repeat it, don't tell me that you are absolutely busy, you don't have enough time. That is also one impurity of the mind. Why? Because I don't have a time to be in peace and calm. The mind has excuses. Very good. So, how are you, Anne?
I feel very bad
You feel
because yeah, I fell asleep.
Yes, that sleepy
That's
mind.
terrible. Yeah, that is one thing. I should remain seated.
I
Really.
love it. It is the same mind which says I should remain seated. You see, that is how we raise our awareness. Yes.
That's right.
So next time when you do the practice and the mind pulls you to lie down and you say, "Oh, I promised myself to be seated. Let me."
Right.
So we train and educate the mind through awareness, not by force, not by coercing. That is the journey of Eastern wisdom. So we should understand it. So with that understanding, we will also, I'm just speaking out, so let those two women also should share their experiences in their email after doing the practice. So we'll talk next time. That is all for today. Thank you very much. We will meet again.